Well, what's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today for a series review, the final one of the playoffs. This is series review number 15, the last series of the playoffs. And we went over the Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final yesterday, but today we're going to go through a look through the whole series of the Stanley Cup Final this year. Florida ends up taking out the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games. Canada is without a cup once again. It's now been 31 years. Maybe I can do a video on that. That's something I can possibly do a video on, and looking at Canadian teams who have been to the final and lost. Because there's been now, I think, 7 teams in the last 31 years that have been Canadian that have gone to the final. I know Edmonton's now gone once or twice. Vancouver's been twice. Ottawa, Calgary, and Montreal have also all gone once. So they're having Canadian teams in the final. They haven't been able to pull it off. Start off in the series, Florida is heavy favorites against the Oilers. Game 1, they come out and they win 3-0. Nothing out of the ordinary there. It's honestly what is expected. Game 2, Florida emphasizes that point. They solidify home ice advantage and they win 4-1. They then go to Edmonton for Game 3 and win 4-3 with a 3-0 series lead. You pretty much can guarantee them the cup, correct? No. Edmonton wins 8-1 in Game 4. 8-1. That's actually insane. With their backs against the wall, they came out and they played like they had nothing to lose. And that's how they played the rest of the series. Game 5, Edmonton wins 5-3 in Florida, getting, as McDavid said, want to get them back on that flight to Alberta, as they win in Game 6 at home 6-1 or 5-1 in Game 6. And then Game 7, the clock struck midnight on the comeback. While the Oilers become the 10th team in history to come back from 3-0 down in a series, they become the 6th team to lose that Game 7. They do not join the 4 of the 1942 Leafs, the 1975 Islanders, the 2010 Flyers, and the 2014 Kings that have come back from 3-0 down. Florida's reputation is safe from blowing a 3-0 series lead. Florida wins Game 7 2-1 with goals from Carter Verhaeghe and Sam Reinhart. The interesting thing about this series is that the stars really didn't show up for either team, aside from McDavid. McDavid showed up fantastic for the Oilers. Game 6 and 7, he didn't really show up, but of course he had an abdominal tear, and he still broke a bunch of Gretzky's records, and he's now fourth. I think he's fourth in all-time now points in a playoff run. I believe it goes to Gretzky, Lemieux, Gretzky again, and now McDavid. And then, of course, Evan Bouchard, he broke the assist record for a D-man in the playoffs. I believe surpassing Bobby Orr, if I'm correct, or Paul Coffey, one of those two legendary offensive defensemen. And Draisaitl was nearly invisible. He had 3 assists all series, no goals. Of course, he was suffering through, we've heard the injuries that have come out now. Hard to play when you are not 100%, let alone maybe 80%. Still putting on 3 assists, and he looked good defensively when he could be, along with a historically good penalty kill for the Oilers that kept them in this series. For Florida, though, their big shot in the series, who led the way in points for them, was Evan Rodriguez. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points in the 7 games for him. Barkov followed him with 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Lundell, no goals, 5 assists, 5 points. Bennett, 1 goals, 3 assists, 4 points. Reinhart and Verhaeghe, because of their Game 7 performances, crack the top 6 scorers. This is everyone with 4 points or more. Reinhart, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 assists. Verhaeghe with the exact same 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Goaltending, people are very upset that Sergei Bobrovsky didn't win the Conn Smythe. I, for one, would have been upset if he did. Bobrovsky played amazing in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. Rounds 1, 2, and 3, he looked excellent. And up until Game 4 against Edmonton in the final, Bobrovsky was my Conn Smythe winner. Even after Game 4, if they won Game 5 and he didn't let in 5 and then 5 again in Game 6, Bobrovsky's the Conn Smythe winner. No issue, no harm. And I've seen a lot of NBA fans talk about this, how it's a Finals MVP, it's not a Finals MVP, it's a playoff MVP. It shouldn't be like that. I disagree. MVP of the playoffs means your most valuable player to a team in the playoffs. McDavid broke Gretzky's records. He broke a scoring that hasn't been seen since the 80s, or in early 90s. He's done stuff that hasn't been done. Deserves the Conn Smythe, to say the least. Even if he didn't accept it on the ice, which people are not happy about as well. But Bobrovsky still 16-8, .906 save percentage with a 2.33 goals against average, not too shabby. For the Oilers, McDavid leads the way, of course. 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points with a Conn Smythe. A win now to his many, many pieces of hardware that he keeps in his trophy case. For McDavid, it's tough for him. He's going to be out for blood next year, and you could see it in his eyes when he was talking. He was angry. He's going to be on a mission next year. I fully expect him to score about 150 points again. Bouchard, no goals, 5 assists, 5 points. Great series from him. Great playoffs from Bouchard. Fogle had a really good series. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. He's a UFA. We're going to see how much he gets paid on the market. Hyman, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Janmark, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Janmark played a prominent role in the series. He was very good for the Oilers. Hyman, 16 goals, is the most amount of goals in the playoffs in the salary cap era in a playoff run. I believe he passed Crosby, who had 15, and Ovechkin also had 15 in another run, if I'm mistaken. I don't recall. But Hyman, congratulations to him. Another record broken. The Oilers are breaking records all over the board, but they can unfortunately not break the big one. Skinner is 14-9 with a .901 save percentage and a 2.545 goals against average. Skinner played well. People are saying a lot about Skinner. Did he play a bit weaker than he probably could have? Yes. In the finals, I don't put any single game here on him. Any of these games, Skinner was great. The Florida was a very good team. There's a reason they were heavy favorites against the Oilers, and yet the Oilers pushed them to 7 after being down 3-0. Skinner's a big part of that because he only lets in 3, 4, 5 goals in that span. And if you want to look at goals throughout the series, Florida 3, 7, 11, 12, 15, 16, 18. So Florida, 18 goals. Edmonton gets 0, 1, 4, 12. 12 plus 10 is 22, 23. So Edmonton actually outscores in the series, but it's all because of Game 4 and Game 6. It's a rarity when the losing team actually scores more than the winning team. But that's the finals for you. That's the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals. We've had a fantastic season of hockey once again, and we'll be back for next year. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Tell me down below what you thought of this Stanley Cup Final, what you'd rate it out of 10, and if you're a Panthers or an Oilers fan, how are you feeling right now? For a Panthers fan, I assume jubilation. For an Oilers fan, I can only assume sorrow. And I shall see you all in the next one. Have a good one.